Welcome to the Scottish Interior Podcast. I'm Declan, a social media manager with a passion for interiors.
And I'm Michelle, an interior designer with my own company called Interiors 45.
Together, we're here to chat all things Scottish interiors, design trends, styling tips, and the projects that keep us busy. Now, let's get into today's episode. And we're back for episode 2 of the Scottish Interior Podcast, hosted by me, Declan Hattie.
And me, Michelle Brown.
How exciting, Michelle, we're back.
We're back, yeah.
Episode 2.
Yeah, I know. Feels good to have the first one done.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
on to the second one.
So what's been happening this week?
Actually, some people have been asking me to talk about design dilemmas. And what I come up against, or what people's most common sort of design dilemmas are.
I think that's a lot of reasons why people appoint an interior designer is pretty much they're so confused about what to do, and they want to do it right, especially if they're spending a lot of money on a project or not. Yeah,
I think there is a feeling that to get an interior designer, it's going to cost you a lot of money. It's going to cost you a lot of money. And when I started out on this journey, I really wanted to try and make it affordable for people. Bottom line is, you do need a budget to do it.
Totally.
However, when we talk about design dilemmas, for example, I've just spoke to someone who has painted their room 3 times, and every time she paints it, she can't get it right, doesn't have the feeling for her. And therefore, when you count up how many tins of paint that is, how many times the painter's been, you know, how much has that cost? And that seems to happen quite a lot. So people waste money, if you like, on things that they're not sure of, whereas had they invested in the design in the first place, it would absolutely have been nailed. So client would have seen mood board, whether it be SketchUp or a 3D design or whatever, however it needed to be, but they would then understand what it was going to look like. Whereas when we just go and say, I like that colour, oh no, I don't like it, it's not doing anything for me, that kind of wastes money and wastes time.
There should be a reason, or there is reason for being when appointing an interior designer, and ultimately you've just hit the nail on the head there. Like, I think later on we'll touch on interior design on a budget, but before we get to that, it is important just to make sure you're doing it right first time round, and like you said about making it affordable, because I think there is this stigma attached to interior designer as it's a super luxury that's maybe sometimes unnecessary unless you do have a ridiculous budget, but that isn't always the case.
No, it's not always the case, but it just depends on the needs of the client. The feedback I've had from clients, the thing that comes up most is that decisions are the thing that I'm helping people make and make them quicker. So a lot of my clients are busy people, professional jobs, busy lives, kids. They've got dance class to go to, they've got their work to go to, they've got a meeting to go to in London. Do they want to go round about retail parks or showrooms on a Saturday looking for a sofa? Absolutely not, because their time is precious. So it's then, from that point of view, I'm bringing the decision to them. I'm saying, these are the sofas I recommend for your room, the space that we've talked about, the materials that I'm choosing, and here are 2 options. What do you like? So, why are you laughing?
just laughing at you talking about getting dragged about retail parks and members.
That's what happens about country baskets.
Members, I was going to say. So I'm like, Michelle, you need to go to country baskets.
No, rewind. This is when we did Ideal Home Show, you said, have you ever been to country baskets? Did you not get trailed round about country baskets when you were wee? And
it was like my weekends.
Never been to country baskets in my life. And then in December, when we were looking for a Christmas tree,
you thought you were missing a trick.
I was like, let's go to country baskets.
I'm like, right, let's go, we're going to country baskets.
Sorry, country baskets, but I was really disappointed.
I
because
still like country baskets. I love my
well, if you're a florist, but no. So, but that can take 3-4 hours on a Saturday, which is precious time with your family. So for that, it's like quicker decision making. You're not overwhelmed by the amount of choice, because what I do is then reduce that choice and let the client make an informed decision. What I'm not about is going in and giving somebody what I want to give them. I really like to take the client on the journey with me and say, like, let's choose. I'll give you 2 choices. What do you like? What's your preference? So, and so far, most people, I've had one client who didn't want to see anything, didn't want to look at anything, didn't want to choose anything.
The dream?
That, yeah, well, you would think, but it's...
I suppose, like...
It is a bit like, like, what if she doesn't like it? But at least...
Yeah, because you're working with a total blank canvas there.
You are, and then you are given like vibes and saying, do you like this? And we've chosen wallpaper and stuff like that. And it was very much a client who she wanted everything to be light, cream sofa, nothing dark. And we ended up papering every wall in textured, kind of mocha coloured wallpaper. Really different from what she had, and it completely transformed it. But yeah, all of the products were delivered for installing tables and lights and all that kind of stuff.
And what was the outcome? Did she absolutely love it?
She kept all the boxes in the kitchen until it was installed day, never looked at anything. And then I went with my team and then we unboxed and put everything in. And then we brought her through and it was like, you know, the changing rooms moment of...
Absolutely.
Like, what do you think? And she cried and I was like, oh my God.
Oh no.
Please tell me these are real tears, because do you know what, I watch DIY SOS and Nick Knowles is like, I love Nick Knowles, so I used to watch that programme and be like, I would love to do that, so this is like my mini version of
60-minute makeover.
So but yeah,
but then it could have been like total flipped and it said, have you seen that one? It's all over TikTok when it ends up your algorithm and it's just a woman comes in and she's on her hands grating, filling it with her husband.
Oh my God. So like you mentioned like TikTok there, right? And we talked about trends in our previous episode. So from a social media point of view, what do you see like on TikTok as an interior? Because I don't really look for interior trends on TikTok or anything like that. So
it's so intelligent the way that the algorithm is working just now, because I am seeing it so much, and I've noticed the change over the last, I don't know, 6 months especially, where if you're searching something instantly, I'm seeing it pop up time and time again. Every 4 scrolls, sometimes you're death scrolling, and if you have searched for, I don't know, aesthetic interiors, to get some inspo off the back of that, it's then all you see. So the trends are there right now. They're present, and some of the trends that I'm seeing, which are what's hot. What is hot, Michelle?
I don't know what's hot on the TikTok.
It's total,
on the TikTok?
On the TikTok is total minimalistic approach, and I'm loving it.
This is why I don't do TikTok trends.
Exactly. But I am, and I probably was one of these ones that would have loved like Betty Bobs scattered across a room.
What is that term? Betty Bobs?
Betty Bobs. Me Betty Bobs. You pick up the country basket.
Wee bits and bobs. Right, so tell me then, like, have you still got the desire to actually do interior design or styling in any shape or form? Because remember you talked about going on Interior Design Masters.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
You did? You actually promised it on stage?
I did. And do you know something? I think where I'm up to, and obviously unlike you, where you're in and out of residential projects, and it's always ever changing. I think like when we first moved in, we were like, right, everything has to be done yesterday, and focus on that. And at that point, it gave me so much content to do. Sorry, it gave me so much content to actually showcase on the platform that I probably did get to a point where I was like, I'm absolutely sick of posting the same stuff. And then the account naturally grew into like a nice lifestyle account, and out and about here and there, or in restaurants.
You're avoiding the question. Do you still want to apply for Interior Design Masters?
Yes. I would, because I think it would bring up all the passion that I had built up at one point.
Yeah.
It would bring up flooding.
And then all your experience with hanging about with me.
Hanging about with the Michelle one.
The Michelle one.
Michelle with one L.
What, like, if you had to describe yourself, like, would you say you're blingy, minimalistic, or like, would you have been blingy at some point?
I've never been
Did you have a crushed velvet anywhere?
No. Right, okay. Absolutely not. It's just no for me. Never has been me. Never will be me.
And see, that's the thing. So I'll tell you a wee secret about one of the clients I had. Absolutely loved
the inside scoop, guys.
Loved working with this client. She was absolutely brilliant to work with. However, loves her bling. Bling. And hubby was not so keen on the bling. So my brief from said client was get as much bling as possible, and hubby as little bling as possible. So as you can imagine, that's quite difficult to do. So I was trying to dial down the bling, and it was very minimalistic, and it was the greys at the time and very polished, which was nice. Glass and the silvers and
because when it was at its peak, it was stunning.
It was beautiful. It was stunning. So what I did do, there was no room in the hallway for a console table, and I love a console table in the hallway because you need a mirror. You need a mirror, right? And the way out the door, you want to check your lipstick and whatever. So anyway, there was no room. So what I did was I got a radiator with a mirror built in to the radiator.
You never.
Full length into the hall. So it was being installed this day, and I got the phone call from client saying, "Oh my God, I absolutely love this radiator. Can we just halt everything right now, and can we just swap every radiator for this radiator?" And I was like, no. And I had the hubby on the other phone trying to phone me saying, "Tell her no, she can only have one." It was actually hilarious. So she got the one radiator, which was a piece of art, in the hall with her mirror in it, and that was the bling in the hallway. So, but yeah, it was fun and games. So even the plumber that was fitting it was like, what is this?
What is going on here?
So good fun.
I actually seen something a few years ago, and I've never seen it ever again. And somebody I know was having black tiles fitted, and the grout had glitter through it. Yeah. Nah, that can't happen. That's just not all right, Michelle.
Well, if it was their personality, it's their personality.
I mean, a black glitter tile with a glitter.
Yeah, I know.
Grout.
I think that's the thing. Like, lots of people struggle with the grout in tile situations, and in the client I was just talking about, we had white tiles with a grey vein going through it, and they actually wanted white grout, which was absolutely
that's a no-go.
It was we did it, we redid it.
Was this throughout the full downstairs? Yeah, especially when you've got a lot of traffic in your house,
because grout does obviously go yellow, but there is now it's an epoxy resin type thing, which goes in like a silicone, which does away with you having to scrape out the grout and redo it. So the products are
Dragon's Den invention.
So there's products that are coming on all the time that you think
that will substitute what we've always known.
Yeah. So,
and we're thrilled to announce that the Scottish Interior Podcast is proudly sponsored by Tyrrell's Home Furnishings.
With over 90 years of experience, Tyrrell's specialise in all things home furnishings, from flooring and carpets to upholstery, living, bedroom and dining furniture. Their commitment to quality, value and exceptional service has made them a trusted name in the industry.
A huge thank you to Tyrrell's Home Furnishings for supporting the podcast, bringing style, comfort and inspiration to homes across Scotland.
Yeah. So, any other design dilemmas that you've faced, or I'm
going through. Well, I'm going to talk from a personal point of view. I'm going through a bit of dilemma that I mentioned in the last episode. I'm changing the living room. Now, I fell out of love with my media wall, and I feel that we spent so much money. Like the day we got the keys, we got the company in, and wall was getting ripped down. It was just the thing I wanted. Now we moved in 2021. We were still not everybody had them, whereas now they're starting to.
I think they've evolved.
Yep, absolutely.
So I think they started out. Media walls started out, and it was a telly and a fireplace, like built in a fake chimney breast. That was literally what a media wall was. And then people were getting them wallpapered or Venetian plastered or whatever, and that was your kind of key statement in your room.
Yeah.
What I'm now seeing, and I'm working on a Victorian property just now, and it's a beautiful big mansion, and the TV room they want to be quite. We've kept lots of the features, but the TV room they want to be feel quite modern. So we've actually built a media wall, but it's wall to wall, but it's got arches and things in it.
Yeah, like that.
So, and it's got the cupboards that at the bottom that would have, there would have been cupboards there in these alcoves. So effectively we're looking at it look like an alcove.
Yeah.
But it's a full entire wall, and it really suits the room.
Yeah.
It's painted white, the same as, the architraves and stuff. So it's nice because it's no too trendy and it's no too like with this trend. And I think Venetian plaster always worried me. I think it's lovely in certain images, in certain places, but I think I worry that it's going to be a bit like Artex, that sometime you're going to say, I love this, but now I don't know how to get it off. Now I don't know the answer of how to get it off.
That is my absolute dilemma right now.
Maybe we'll get somebody in from Venetian Plaster to talk to us.
Yep.
I guessed.
I know somebody will.
But yours is Venetian plaster.
Mine is Venetian plaster, and I had my heart set for Pinterest boards right at the very beginning when we hadn't even had the keys yet. I was like, this is the vision. I want a media wall where the fire had to be the same width as the television, because that was another thing that would knock my OCD was smaller fire, bigger television. That was the vision for the beginning. But now I'm at this point when I'm like, right, time to do a bit of a refresh. And that's my dilemma that I'm facing. I just don't know what to do with the wall.
Well, I think we should get a Venetian plaster person to come in. We don't know how easy it is to paint over it or to remove it or whatever. So that would be something that we would need to look at. But I think the thing is, people have so many design
and I don't
dilemmas.
hate it either.
No.
I think when you like to refresh and renew, you want to walk in and go, once it is fully complete, you want to be like, oh right, look at it, it's been done top to bottom.
I think the thing for me is if we're doing this podcast, it would be great to hear more people, real life examples of design dilemmas. So if anybody does want to reach out, then they can do that on the channels. We've mentioned there on guests, and I'm really keen to have some guests in with us. So we've talked to a couple, but I think
got two confirmed, haven't we?
And one of them's one of my clients. So this is the client I'm talking about with the Victorian renovation. So hers is a great story. And she will be 100% honest about the renovation.
Oh, she will.
About the water that's pouring in through the ceiling to the mice that are running about on our sofa.
From the dynamic that they're actually a family living in this property that's currently been renovated. And I've never seen anything like this property before. It is humongous. Yeah, it definitely is. And it's no easy. And people do get project fatigue, where they get halfway through, even in a new build, where people are asking for my help, and we're doing maybe 2 rooms. By the end of it, people are fed up with making decisions. People in their house, actually doing the work, measuring up, coming back. If it's curtains, made to measure curtains, they're coming in to measure. Then they're doing the track, fitting the track. Then they're coming back for first fit with the curtain. Then they're final fit and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff goes on in your home while you're doing renovations, whether it be an old property or a new property. So project fatigue, but certainly this client in particular, she will tell her own story, which will be good for everybody to hear. Yeah, looking forward to having her on. Just when you touched on the track curtains scenario, this is one thing I've never put a curtain up.
I've noticed that about you. I know.
Didn't even have a curtain in my last house. I've got a pelmet in my living room, and that is it.
So you talked about trends previously, and when you go into a show home, right? So we've all visited show homes and we love show homes. They just make you feel, oh, I want to live here. Yeah. That's the idea. When you go into show homes, what you will see is there's curtains that go wall to wall. So primarily they're wave track curtains. So they're waves, and your curtains sit in your waves. So remember years ago, you had like the big swags and tails, and they had them all puddled in the floor, and you had your big tie back and all that kind of stuff. I mean, those still exist in great big fancy houses. But
with the big, what do you call the?
Like the tassels.
Oh,
like
the tassels. With like the right round into the gold duke.
Yeah, the wee hook. Put it on.
Everybody.
Yeah, that's what we had. Right. But that's again when you say what trends and it comes around. Right now the trend is these wave curtains, and generally they're in. Well, majority of the ones I've done are in like sumptuous velvet fabric. So if your window's like in the middle of your wall and you've got two pieces of wall either side, a piece of wall either side of your window, what the trend is to cover that piece of wall, so it's not just sitting on your window, it's on the wall. So it looks then effectively like your wall-to-wall curtains, which it is. And you've got none of the messing around with stuff on the floor, because even whether they're closed or whether they're open, they sit in this lovely wave, and they're stunning. They're stunning, but they have to be measured properly, made properly, and fitted properly.
Remember folk working through the toilet roll holder phase?
Putting them in between
the
Yes. I seen that on like TikTok or something. I don't know what it was, but it popped up and I was like, what is this?
Mine don't bin the toilet rolls. Let's keep the centres to space the curtains out.
Yeah. But that's what they're trying to... So what they're trying to create is that whole...
Oh, yeah,
like, the wave.
Symmetry and just
so that
perfect.
You've got perfect, yeah.
Because how many times I remember growing up, don't touch the curtains.
Yeah.
But listen, Kieran Madrew, it was genius. But
yeah.
I didn't do it myself. I
think
the curtains.
For me, like, you can do things on a budget, but you have to be sure that something's going to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're wasting money. So for me, it's like, pick a key piece. So whether it be your sofa, and get a classic style sofa that you are going to be able to keep with no matter what trend is going on round about you. And you can make that come to life with cushions and throws and stuff, regardless if you change your curtains or you change your wallpaper. So if you're going to invest in something, a good piece like that.
Yep.
But yeah, you can go and pick up throws from retailers and the high street that are cheaper than, going and spending a couple £100 a throw. You could go and buy one for £25.
Yep.
So, and these are things that can be, and the same with invest in your cushion pad, but you can also then just swap out your cushion covers.
Yep.
It doesn't have to cost you a fortune for those things. But the pieces that are going to remain, like through the test of time, invest in them.
Have you seen Paul Moneypenny's new range of cushions?
I have. I've yet to meet Paul Moneypenny, but we messaged back and forward on Instagram, which is nice because he was on Interior Design Masters. And
that's why I started watching it, because it was so engaging from the get-go. He'd be a dream guest on here.
Aye. So Paul, if you're listening.
Please, Paul.
But also, he lives in Belfast, and don't know if you know, but I'm getting married in Belfast this year. So,
how exciting, Michelle.
I know. But he was like, are you in Belfast? He messaged me. I was like, yes. And I'm getting married in Belfast. And he was like, oh my God. So
loving that.
And I was asking him where was the best places to go. So the next time I'm over, I said I would go in and see him. Because he works endlessly. He's always doing like new ranges, new wallpapers, new cushions, all that kind of stuff. And his office, his showroom, looks amazing.
Anna Wintour works hard.
Yeah.
But Paul Moneypenny works harder.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe we need some Paul Moneypenny cushions for our
sofa.
Our sofa.
Yeah, I know.
So earlier on, Michelle, you had said about our joint love for show homes. Now I have heard you say this before, that your dream is to
design a show home. Yeah.
What is the dream? Like, why do you want to do that?
I just want to design. I think it's the feeling that so many people go through the door of a show home and feel like they want to live there, and that's the feeling that I want to create for more people than just one. And it would just be great it's a challenge, because obviously again you have to appeal to the masses. It's not just one person you're appealing to, but so you're using all your design skills to put that together as to, right, this is what's, and I suppose to a point it is on trend because they're a show home and they're new.
Current
but the last Cala show home that I was in, it was just one of the big 5 or 6 bedrooms, and the kitchen space was just amazing. I was like, oh, I love this. It was so we talked about open plan, but this was open plan. But then they also had a beautiful like living area that you could relax into at night time. It was just stunning.
We actually went along to the Cala development, you know, at the Squinty Bridge.
Yeah.
And these were townhouses, and I've genuinely never seen anything like it. Like, it was just phenomenal. The kitchen space, as you say, into the entertaining rooms, like even the
quality
width,
of finish,
the quality of finish, the width of the staircases as well was just.
But remember, we went to the one in the Cala development at Jordan Hill in the old school, and like how they made, you know, everything out of these old features, and how they made it like just so current and so modern, but kept the originality of the building was just fantastic. The spaces in it was amazing. So yeah, that's my dream. So I've done a huge commercial project. I've done quite a few residential now, and I would love to do a show home. So Cala or anybody else that may be listening.
If you are a home builder and you want to appoint a new interior designer,
well,
get in touch with Michelle.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that would be good. And listen, just manifest it, put it out there. We'll make it happen. So thanks for listening, guys, to episode 2 of the Scottish Interior Podcast. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify and YouTube.